I would say, big picture, it's really just the complexity of what we do and the problems we try to solve, and the fact that there is certainly these days no shortage of product solutions, options, strategies, processes. There's lots of great solutions out there. And so how do you take all of this complexity and communicate it in a simple way to a prospective client or a client?
Every employee benefits broker and industry partner dreams of achieving great things. The bad news is that success doesn't come easy. The good news is that you don't have to do it alone. Welcome to the Benefits Sales Pro Show. I am your host, Ryan James Miller, and my goal is to engage industry professionals who have found success and are willing to share it with others. So give us 15 minutes and hear how today's guest has achieved great things so you can too. All right. What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the show. I have with me today a good buddy, a client, just somebody that I have built a great relationship with in the benefits industry. His name is Michael Godwin. He is a benefits advisor with the Benefit Company out of Georgia. And like every single one of these episodes, today we are going to be talking about sales. But for now, I just get to say, what up, buddy? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Ryan, good to talk to you, man.
All right. So we dig right in. We don't want to waste anybody's time, including our own, because you want to get back out there and light the sales world on fire. So kind of first question out of the gate is more just perspective. So if somebody was to ask you, or I'm asking you right now, like, what is your opinion on the environment of sales in benefits today? So you've been at this. How long have you been at this, by the way?
Oh, let's see. Since the year 2020. 22 years, almost 22 years.
To be able to do that at 34 is crazy too. That's so good. Okay. So a lot's changed, but what's your opinion today of kind of just the environment of sales in benefits?
That's a good question. From my vantage point, some of what I'm going to say is maybe my opinion of how I view it. It's ever evolving. And I think for me and for our firm, we've sort of taken the mindset and the approach that, we're really no different than an accounting firm, a law firm, other professional services firm in terms of the way that we should approach those relationships, that we're not there to necessarily sell something. We're there to advise them on a very important matters affecting their business, their finances, and their employees. And so it's really that sort of advisory type relationship that we want to have. And I think if you approach things with that mindset and with that type of a process, then that'll be reciprocated in terms of the way that you're treated, by your clients and prospective clients in terms of being viewed as a peer and an advisor, as opposed to it being more of that sort of traditional, sales environment where they maybe have their guard up or are looking at you as someone that's just trying to, make some money and kind of move on down the road. So that's some feedback I'd give and sort of the way that we're thinking about the world these days.
No, I think that's actually really good. I think that most people would listen to that and say, yeah, that's me too. I'm an advisor. They've all changed their name to consultant versus broker or salesperson. But I know, you may be too kind to say it, but I know that most people say that, but are still not doing it. And so we would probably both agree then a huge mistake is just showing up as kind of the vomit product and service guy, just trying to pitch everything. But why do you feel like that's such a mistake to show up and just try to pitch? Even if you're the expert, you know what you're talking about, you know their problem, you can solve their problem. Why do you think it's a mistake to show up and just try and throw everything at them?
Well, you just made the comment that you know their problem. And I guess it depends on where you are in this process or the sales process or this advisory process. But I guess I'd push back on that notion a little bit to say that, you really don't know their problem until you really dig in and look at it from their perspective and ask a lot of questions, not just about what you do, but about their business in general. So, I would say spending more time in that discovery phase and that fact-finding phase and that education phase before jumping to the solutions is key. And I know that's pretty basic and something that we've all kind of known for quite some time, but but we all fall victim of it. And, I sat on a call today with someone, sort of a carrier type person that was talking to our firm, and it was straight into, here's how big we are. Here's how long we've been in business. No questions about what's your perspective. What are your needs? What are your focuses? What are your clients looking for? So out of the gate, it just didn't feel right on my end. So it's always interesting to be on the other side of those things and try to learn from it to remind yourself of what it's like to be on the other side of your conversations. So
true. By the way, can you go ahead and forward that person's contact information to me? I'd like to talk to them about improving their pitch. Okay. So for you personally, what has been one of the bigger sales challenges that you have faced as a benefits consultant, benefits advisor?
I would say, big picture, it's really just the complexity of what we do and the problems we try to solve. And the fact that there is certainly these days no shortage of product solutions, options, strategies, processes. There's lots of great solutions out there. And so how do you take all of this complexity and communicate it in a simple way to a prospective client or a client? Communicate it that way, but then also try to deliver a multi-year approach to things that's easy to understand and doesn't just, isn't paralysis by analysis, and makes things seamless. And so just sort of taking the complex and making it simple is very, very challenging, and it gets more challenging every day just with the complexity of the world that we're in. So, and that's a work in progress, right? You got to continue to try to stay sharp in that, because as I said, more and more stuff gets thrown at us. There's more expected of advisors today than ever before. You have to know a lot in our world. And so staying on top of it is a challenge, but then communicating it back to your prospective client is even more challenging. And so, to me, that's all about process. And that's all about sort of systemizing your processes internally, and then being able to communicate that in a systematic and efficient and simplistic way to the end user is just critically important.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I was the follow up to that was how'd you overcome it? But I think that you tied it up really well right there, is to know your process, be confident in your process, and follow that process every time, regardless of what you assume to be the case, what you know to be the case. If you skip a step, it's usually going to come back and bite you right in the ass, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's again, if you really truly do have a consultative approach, you are going to approach every situation with a unique conversation or I should say, your approach will be the same, but the answers you get back, the needs of each client are going to be different, unique. And so trying to, put that into a process that is repeatable and consistent is the challenge, to do that in a way while maintaining the uniqueness for each client.
So that's actually one of the most simple yet wise things I've heard shared yet. And by this time I've recorded, 12 or 15 of these episodes. But you caught yourself and clarified it in such a great way, saying that your process is the same every single time, though the conversation within the process is unique to the needs of the client and the way the client goes. And I think that's so, again, simply but well articulated, because a lot of times we go in with a process, we are kind of prepared, but then we get derailed because the situation is slightly different than the situation that we had prepared for. And so we kind of lose our way. So I love that you define both of those things. I think that those are really helpful for people to take away, is stick to your process, trust it, do it every single time. Just you're gonna change what happens in the midst of that as you have conversations. So that's so good. Okay. You're a pretty humble dude. This is probably a hard one to drag out of you, but I'm going to get it out of you anyway. So what is one sales tactic or strategy that you have used to be successful? So you've been at this a while, you built a decent sized book of business. And so what is one thing that you have used from the sales side of things that you believe has been helpful in you getting to where you are?
Well, I don't know. It's maybe kind of boring, I suppose. And not
these are by the way, these are the best ones, right? Before you go there, I just want to say, earlier you said your industry is complex. There's always a new solution, but at the end of the day, it's the simplicity of listening to what the client has to say and solving a problem. So same thing here. Everyone's looking for the newest, shiniest way to sell a deal, but in reality, the simple is probably what's going to get you the farthest. So now you get to go.
Yeah. And it's not really a sales strategy, but just more of a business development approach, I guess I would say. And again, this is not something I came up with by any means. This is tried and true, but it's just sort of the you get by giving approach of trying to pour into other people and help them solve their problems and help them be connected to other people that might help them solve a problem or help them out personally, professionally, and know that, the more that you do that, the more that you're going to grow and grow your business. And so, I've had a lot of good, really good people around me that I've learned that from over the years. There's a gentleman named Rich DeVita that I worked with early in my career, who was just a fantastic mentor to me that lived that out every day. And then Kerry Brown, the founder of our firm, is just the greatest example of that in terms of how he just pours into other people, both personally and professionally. And so, I mean, to me, we all want referrals, right? We all want to have a referral-based practice. That's what we all seek. And, I think we can all continue to do that. I think we evolve though. And so it's more of what we're, really trying to do a much better job of these days is taking that from a sort of one-on-one conversation to sort of leveraging technology and social media and other things to expand that base of like-minded people that know, like, and trust you and want to see your organization succeed, and vice versa, to sort of expand that reach to help more people, impact more people, know more people, and sort of expand the sphere of influence. But so yeah, that's the mindset of trying to help other people in my center of influence and client roster and help them grow and grow from that.
I haven't done this very much, maybe one other episode that I've said something like this, but I want to say this because I think it's like just super helpful to everybody listening. So what I appreciate about you, Michael, specifically so much is you're just a very simple dude. You like to keep things professional. I mean, you like to have fun and enjoy yourself, but you're like, I just want to get in there. I want to do my job. I want to help people. I want to do it the right way. Yes, I want to have the knowledge to help walk my clients through the most significant of challenges. But at the same time, I just want to be straightforward about how I do it. I want to keep things simple. I want to just work the process. And in a day and age where I believe so many of your peers, again, are trying to be as complex as humanly possible to sound smart or to try and wow their clients, to try and outdo their competition in knowledge and understanding and tools and toolboxes. I just love the fact that you've allowed consistency and simplicity in a professional way to really allow you to succeed. And I know you have, a lot of big goals ahead of you that you want to keep pursuing, but I just think it's so telling.
I'm simple and I don't try to wow people with knowledge. Is that what I'm getting?
Come on now. But no, I think there's so much to learn, because even in this conversation right here, I mean, I've had everybody that I've had record so far has been a friend, a close colleague, but almost everybody comes on here or on any, they take any opportunity to posture to some degree, to brag a little bit. And I don't think there's a problem with that. Like, I appreciate it. But at the same time, like, you just keep saying, like, this may sound very simple. This may be very basic. That's kind of how you're qualifying it. But then you say what you say, and it's very profound. It's very wise. And it works. And I think people listening need to hear that quit chasing all the shit that's out there and just do the simple, do the ordinary, do the things that work. That doesn't mean you're not creative and interesting. It just means that you follow the process that you know works over and over again. So I appreciate that about you. And for all of you listening, learn from that. Maybe you should pick up the phone and call Michael and figure out how he does that. Okay, last question. You've been at this 20 plus years. You know a lot more today than you did 20 something years ago when you got started in the business. What's one piece of advice that you would give yourself then if you had the opportunity?
Gosh, good question. Something in the realm of, focus, riches and niches, focusing on, less is more. You expand your influence by sort of tightening your circle, all these sort of themes around not trying to be all things to all people, jack of all trades, all that sort of thing. So, and it's tough in our industry because, as I said before, there's so much that we need to know, and we need to have in our wheelhouse. So, it's just only natural that you want to learn, everything in our industry. And so, but I do think there's real value in being known for something, as opposed to trying to be known by everybody for everything. So that's definitely what I would tell my younger self, is to really think about reining in focus, both for efficiency in your business and also, frankly, to expand your influence and your awareness out in the marketplace.
That's good, man. There's some young guy out there right now, young gal out there that needs to hear just that. So thanks, man. I appreciate it. We keep them short. We keep them sweet. I think that was just a great narrow way to speak to some very specific things that'll help people grow as they're out there hunting down the goals that they have for themselves. So ladies and gentlemen, that's Michael Godwin. Great conversation. I hope you guys are enjoying the Benefits Sales Pro show as we have been pushing them out to you. Feedback's always appreciated. We'll put Michael's contact information into the show notes. If you want to reach out to him, you know where to find me. Go smash them goals. Thanks so much for checking out this episode of the Benefits Sales Pro show. Please make sure to like this episode, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. I also invite you to check out thebenefitsalespro.com. We have created a digital platform that includes both live and on-demand video trainings, quick tips, and a multitude of branding, prospecting, and selling resources that are downloadable for you today. So visit www.thebenefitsalespro.com and grab a free copy of the High Performance Sales Playbook while you're there.